see my background again. I don't know. Sometimes I like to put the Zoom background when I'm making my videos. Like just keep on recording the screen and switch to the Zoom window. I think that works. I think I'll go back to that in the future. You know, otherwise you just see a bunch of stuff behind me. Um, so I don't know. I think when you go live, one good thing is maybe sometimes YouTube will put in like they'll put the live in the home screen of YouTube. So some people will see, oh, this is what's live right now, and some people might see that. But I think anybody who has not viewed me before will probably not see that I'm live right now, because it probably won't suggest to me because I'm not that popular, unless somebody has viewed me before. But anyways, so I didn't actually have time to watch the message yet this week, so I am not actually going to be talking about that. And I know the last 2 weeks. I mean, I did watch it last week before. I mean, on Sunday at the time, but I just didn't get around to making a video. And I thought I was going to be moderating this week as well originally, but I think they maybe messed the schedule up, and then now I'm moderating the coming Sunday instead. So I know. So I actually didn't get around to watching the video yet, either live or like afterwards. So so that's why I can't really talk about it yet, because I didn't actually watch it. I mean, I probably still could, but I don't know. I just think that maybe it'll be easier if I actually watched it. I mean, I struggle enough talking about it even when I have watched it. So maybe I probably have nothing to talk. But I mean, but I think like the way it's set up, it's kind of similar to the Meeting House, where you don't really have to have watched it to really talk about it necessarily. Because like some of the stuff, like most of the stuff that they ask is just like more personal. Like talk about a time when you. So it's not necessary per se talking about the message, but having actually listened to the message, you kind of know exactly where it kind of fits in. So I think like that still kind of helps a bit in terms of figuring out what to talk about for those questions though. So I just thought I'd come on and just casually talk about just announcements a little bit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna probably go back online and play with my friend Salty. Salty. That's what I call her. That's not her name. I call her Salty. Well, I was gonna say Salty finally has a mic, but she actually just using the mic at her friend's house. So like the mysterious Salty, you might actually finally hear her voice. Yeah. But on some of my videos, actually I should be making more videos, I guess. Yeah, I think when you watch a replay, you don't actually have the audio of the other people. So if I make a live video, then you're gonna be able to hear our voices. But I think I'm gonna replay. Okay, hold on. She messaged me, so just 1 sec. I'm live, so I can't pause it. Yeah. So the other thing is I've just been trying to work on my goalie stuff. I didn't really finish the ball hockey chest protector yet. I know I mentioned that in one of the other videos, the pre-recorded video. But I put a new cage on the sport mask. It's actually it doesn't look too bad in the video here, but maybe I'm holding it because the mask, I think the mask is like the cage is actually a little bit off. It's a little bit crooked, and it's not exact. But actually, you can't really tell from, I guess, from the video. Well, actually, yeah, you can see like the mask is, yeah. See like at the bottom of the chin there is a little bit crooked, because I'm actually like, yeah, I'm actually not putting a sport like the proper cage on it. Well, the other cage was kind of small, so like I had a white certified cat eye before, and it was kind of small, so it would actually, it barely fit on the mask as well. But it was just, I guess, more even on both sides. But that's the other thing. And this one is not as small. This one actually fits, like, the cage actually overlaps the opening, because the other one, the cage, I got to put down the mouse, but the mic the only reach here, it only reached here, it didn't reach back here, so it was actually like the cages don't go up to here, so it was really hard to mount this screw for that cage. So like, I don't know, I kind of feel that that was probably like the for smaller, the cage was for smaller masks, and that's why it didn't quite fit my mask very well, because I have a medium, but it should fit small medium, like, even if it's a smaller cage. So if anything, the cage should be too big. So that's kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not really for this particular model, which is a bit more wide, because I kind of have a wide face, so that's why I think it kind of go that way. Yeah. Yeah. So recently, me and my friend have been playing Fall Guys as well, because you need to get it like for like a skin. That you gotta go play 100 rounds of Fall Guys, and she really hates that game. So she got majorly pissed off when she's playing. Yeah, so I also put like, as you can see, there's some tubing on it. That's like silicone tubing. The reason why I did that is because the 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 cage is usually really weak, even though it's steel. But if you get hit with the wrong shot, the cage tends to bend, and then once it bends, it's pretty much done. You can't really, you can't really. They suggest you don't use the cage again after it's bent. So like, I don't, for safety reasons, I just changed the cage, and this is like I had like 4 or 5 cages already bent, since like the last 5-6 years that I've been using it. I've had like 4 or 5 cages bent on me. Like the other one actually lasted pretty long. The other X1, so this is also X1 cage. That's why it's not not a good, like the perfect fit. Although people say that the X1 cage is supposed to be compatible with sport masks. Like online, some other people say that it's compatible. So like, that's why I put it on. But it's not 100%, like a 100% perfect fit, still, because it's not actually for this mask. But it does fit pretty well, as you can see. Like, it's not perfect, but like the shape and overall, like the size of the cage is, it's a pretty good fit. I mean, actually, my other cage is also from an X1, but maybe it's an older X1, so that one actually fit like really good. But the only problem is it also got bent. So just like I put it on, and after a few games, it got bent as well. So I'm like, oh, so the like it can't be used anymore. But I guess like maybe that's why it lasted so long, because I don't use that mask very often anymore. So that's why, like, it's the other cages on the other mask that got bent, because they're getting used more. So so after that cage bent, I put that on the my X8, my other sport mask, and then now I have this one. So like, it fits the other sport mask, which is a large. This is a medium. It fits that one pretty well too, and it just gets on. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, the season has not been going well. We have not won a game. That one game where, I don't know, that we were winning 6-4, and then somehow we just kind of lost it the second half of the third. That was bad. Although it's like, like, I kind of realized. So I was checking my friend's score. I have another friend who plays hockey, and I met him like a few years ago, because like, he's around the area, and like, he joined my agency, and like, I was seeing some of his scores, and like, like, so apparently giving up more than 5 goals is pretty common this year. Actually, he recently won his game on Monday or yesterday. but it was like 9-6. So like, yeah, apparently giving up a lot of goals. Like, so I guess that's similar to our game because like, except it wasn't 9-6, it was like 8-6 that we lost. But so so even though a lot of goals could come around, but like sometimes you still can win even if you give up a lot of goals. But yeah, but like he hasn't been doing much better either. And like at least I've come close to getting some really low score games and also like a few shutouts. So like it's not too bad, I guess. I'm not doing too bad. I'm not doing really well, fortunately, but I'm not doing too bad. So I mean, I was doing better before the pandemic. So that's my main thing. And it would be nice to kind of get good again somehow, or I don't know, or maybe like the sticks in the recent years have just got even lighter and even more explosive. So it's like maybe it's just like everybody's like, well, I mean, everybody is out of practice too, so that's kind of why a lot of the scores are going so high. But it's also like maybe the sticks are getting a lot better to shoot with as well. So like that kind of changes the game dynamic. And also, equipment is supposed to be getting smaller still. The last few years in the NHL, they've been talking about making the goalie equipment smaller, and I've also got newer equipment, so maybe that's why it's like smaller. Well, my pads are a little bit shorter. My other pads were a little bit long, anyways. Like they sometimes would kind of hit each other in the middle. But the only thing, the getting a shorter pad because the fire rise is the same, but having a shorter pad right now, on the knee stack, my knee kind of sits a little bit higher. Like it's so this is like let's say this is like the knee stack. So like ideally your knee should be like right there, right? But because I'm using like the size large, my knee is like actually up here. Um, so like if I was using a size XL, my knee would be perfect because I tried the size XL in the store. So apparently I need an XL. That was a perfect length. But if it's a medium, my knee is all the way like above it. So like that's like obviously. So with a large, it's like the smallest I could. Like large is basically the smallest I could go, and my knee is actually near the top. So that's a little bit not quite exactly where it's supposed to be, but at least my knee is still landing there, so it's not landing directly on the ice. And also, if the other problem is if your knee is too high, like above the thing, then like when you're trying to push down on it, the knee doesn't actually push. Like there's actually like your knee which should hit the ice, but you might actually have a little bit of a gap on the other side, kind of going up there, because it's supposed to be the knee is supposed to push the pad down and seal it there, but the thing is the knee is not reaching there. The knee is actually kind of going down a little bit, so this part of the pad is not actually being pushed down by the knee. So maybe at the very end of it, there's a little bit of a gap. I guess I don't know. I've never actually done that, like worn like pads that are too small. Um, you know, but then my friend he uses extra small, so I'm like I don't know. I guess like I just kind of really long in the legs. Like, I guess what I found like my upper body is not as long, but my lower body is pretty long. So that's kind of why I need the XL, I guess. So that's basically the XL is pretty much as big as it goes. Well, I mean there is an extra large as well, and maybe XXXL. So that's it for really 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 tall people. But I guess like fire rise is the same as well because I guess like because the fire rises are more regulated now. Because what happens like some people were not very tall, but then their pads had extremely long fire rise, and they're saying, oh, you don't need that, and is that they feel that it was like too big, so they kind of shortened it. So and it's more standard. I guess like this is also standardized too. Like most of the you either large or XL, but you don't actually get to pick how tall your fire rise is. It's always only 1 inch now, so or plus one or whatever. So like a standardized sizing. You don't actually pick your length and you don't pick your fire rise. I mean, that's what you used to be able to do in custom, but I don't know. I think you might still be able to do it if you get a custom pad. I'm not sure. Maybe you can still pick the fire rise length and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's what I was gonna talk about. And then I'll probably get off soon. I just want to talk about announcements, so I decided to shoot the breeze about hockey. Yeah, so recently a friend of mine, Bob actually passed away. They made an announcement on Facebook, so it's like, yeah, that's kind of like a new news as well. So just to honor that, I just mentioned so and maybe you could pray for his family and stuff like that. Yeah, but also like I think my hockey career needs some prayers, and I think so. Yeah, All right, so I guess I'm gonna end the video here. And try to get back online to play with my friend. And then yeah, so that's the how the way. Well, I mean, also I've also been like, whenever she's not on, and try to do some other stuff and get prepared for the fall, and maybe read my goaltending book. The my goaltending book that I showed you guys the other day in another video. I've got the hockey goaltending book that talks about, like, how the techniques and stuff, about the position, like the it's my own personal goalie training, because I don't actually I don't have money to go goalie camps and stuff like that, so I just use that. All right, so well, if you're watching, I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for tuning in. And this is gonna be the video for this week.